Divine greetings and gratitude, tribe. Welcome back to our sanctuary. I wanted to stop by before I go to bed or finish up the things that I gotta do. And I wanted to have a quick conversation with you about some things that I've been feeling coming up for the collective. This is going to be a very free-flowing type of vibe. It's going to be a very free-flowing type of energy. And I just really want to surrender to this moment with you, and I want to surrender to the divine, to Source Mother, and open myself up as a channel for you right now, because there are a lot of things, again, that are coming up right now, and I know that it has everything to do with that eclipse that we got coming up. I believe it's a lunar eclipse. I have to double check or triple check, but I know that it's going to be happening obviously during Virgo season, and we're also going to be having a full moon in the sign of Pisces at that time. I believe it's going to be around roughly 2:10 p.m. on September the 7th, and I believe that's actually Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be, depending on where you are in the world, it's going to be a different time and things like that. So anyway, I actually have my tablet pulled up, well, my iPad, I have it here, and I'm going to actually go ahead and open up the chart, and I'm going to be taking a look at that in a second. But before I get into that, I want to say that I invite you right now to open yourself up as to receive the things that you need. I set the intention that you yourself are protected. I do not believe in any coincidences. I believe that everything is divinely orchestrated. I believe that everything is perfect. I believe that everything happens just as it should. And I know for a fact that you came here because you yourself are on a path of remembrance. So again, like I said, I have the chart pulled up here, but I want to start off by saying that I know that there has been a humming, right? I know that there has been some type of call. I know that there has been something that has been pushing you and pulling you to the edge of something. And it's almost kind of like, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Fool card, how the Fool card, or in the Fool card, how the Fool is about to jump over that cliff or walk over the cliff or skip over it or whatever. Instead of it being that way, though, what I do see is that there's someone who is called towards a certain path. They're called towards a certain rhythm. They're called towards a certain idea or whatever it may be. And again, there's this humming. There's been this stirring of the spirit where someone has been feeling that something within them is awakening, is coming back alive, or coming back to life, or resurrecting itself, is what I'm hearing. Others of you, I do feel like it's something that you may have never even known, and you feel like this call, it's like you don't know exactly what it is, but you feel that there is a deep resonance. And what this is your life changing for the better, but you fully trusting in your voice, trusting in your intuition, trusting in your talents, and trusting in you as a being, because your whole life is about to shift. And I mean for everybody. It doesn't matter what your rising sign is. It doesn't matter what your moon sign is. It doesn't matter about any of that. All I know is that we are all under these energies together, and I feel like the divine is pushing us closer towards our greatest hopes, our greatest wishes, without us trying to control, to define, to restrict, to compartmentalize, and to try to get everything perfect so that we can calculate it and analyze it. And the reason why I say this is because the moon will at that time be in the sign of Pisces, whereas the sun will be opposite of that in the sign of Virgo. Virgo wants to refine, it wants to find the problem, it wants to fix it, it wants everything to be very smooth and efficient. Whereas Pisces wants to surrender, it wants to free flow, it wants to go to the heights. Virgo wants to ground. Pisces wants to explore. Pisces wants to figure out. Pisces wants to study, but in a very playful way. It wants to be itself in all of its dimensions. It wants to understand the universe. It just simply is the universe. It's the void. But the thing is that I feel like not only is this beautiful, right? Not only is this a beautiful thing, but I also feel that there's push and pull between you wanting things to be a certain way, you having a certain vision for yourself, but then you knowing deep down within yourself, in your soul, that there is something that you cannot change, and there is something that you can't fully calculate, but you are being called to trust it. For some of you, it's to trust your voice. For some of you, it's to trust the fact that there are certain things in your life that are being refined, but in a very meaningful way, not in a way to control you or to harm you or to damn you or to restrict you, but in a way to make you more efficient as you align with your higher mind, as you align with your greatest hopes and wishes, as you align with with this greater version of yourself, with the universe, with soul groups, with friends, with partnerships, right? And I also do feel like there's this need for people to really trust and know that the path that they're on now has been a path of remembrance, meaning that you yourself, more than likely, if you're here, you've been awakened already, or you may be waking up. But after the awakening, then comes what I like to call the remembrance. It's where you start to remember who you are outside of the noise, outside of the fragments, outside of trauma, outside of these ideologies. And that's exactly what is being activated within a lot of people now. You yourself are on a path of remembrance where you are redefining, rediscovering, and awakening and remembering who you are outside of the noise, outside of expectations, outside of what people have refined you to be. You yourself are this organic essence of love, of imagery, of artistry, and spirit is wanting you to trust in that. I do feel that for some people, they may be thinking, okay, well, where's the money going to come from? The money is going to come when you start to fully align yourself, because there's something that you yourself may not have mastered or may not have discovered. Sorry about that, you guys. I had to stop because someone knocked on my door, as you heard. But I'm going to go ahead and look at this chart because I was in the groove and then someone knocked it and I just kind of got knocked out of the park. But we're going to come back. We're headed back. Okay, so basically at the time, what I'm noticing is that, yes, the North Node is also going to be in the sign of Pisces at that time. As well as the moon, obviously. So that basically means that the South Node at that time is going to be in Virgo. So what I do feel... Oh, and it's also going to be, the South Node is in the 10th house, and then the North Node is in the 4th house at the time of the full moon in Pisces. So I do feel like this is basically where we have to think about what we want ourselves to be because of how we're viewed, because of how we're seen, and if that really matches who we are internally. What did we go through in our upbringing that shaped the way that we viewed ourselves out in the public, or that made us feel that we had to present ourselves a certain way in order to be of service, in order to be good enough, in order to serve the world, our community, our neighbors? Did we shrink ourselves? Did we tell ourselves the lie that we weren't enough and that we were only enough when they approved of who we were? And I do feel that there's a lot of people now who are in a space where they're being called to challenge those beliefs. And I feel like there may be people coming into your life who are challenging you, not in a negative way, or you may be someone who is challenging others because you know that there's something within this person or yourself or whoever it may be that they may not be as authentic with, but because they felt that they've had to be self-sacrificial. Pisces on a bad day, right? Because I don't feel like anything is really, negative or positive or whatever. Well, in certain terms, yes, but like not in a... Anyway, so basically I do feel like Pisces on a bad day wants to give. It wants to give endlessly, because let's be honest, Pisces' original ruler is Jupiter. So whatever is going on with Pisces, I know that Jupiter has a lot to do with that. The new age, right, ruler of Pisces is Neptune. However, the original ruler of Pisces is Jupiter. Whenever you're dealing with Jupiter, you are dealing with prophecy, you are dealing with intuition, but you're dealing more with the active aspect of it. You're dealing more with the masculine aspect of it, because Jupiter is a masculine planet. It's the great guru, it's the sage, it's the wise one, it's the one that teaches you how to ascend, how to transform, and also how to reach enlightenment through joy, through love, through compassion, through openness, through wonder, through buoyancy, right? So Pisces naturally has this gift of compassion, of love, of art, of beauty, this ethereal type of magic that can help bring people closer together. But sometimes what Pisces wants to do is quiet itself, not say much, keep itself in a space where people can understand it, or they may not express themselves fully out of fear of being misunderstood, especially when you've got this energy here with Virgo who says, okay, but there's something wrong with this. If you do it this way, then it'll be better. But it's like, why not just let it be what it is organically? Why not just allow the mess to be the mess? And that's exactly what we ourselves are being called to do, especially because Uranus has been changing up the game. Uranus, speaking of which, at the time is going to be in Gemini and also in the 7th house, as well as a part of fortune. So to me, this means that the less you try to control it, the more that you surrender to it, the more that you follow this flow, follow these currents, follow these cosmic currents, and surrender to that and baptize yourself in these cosmic intergalactic currents, these oceans and seas and waters and whatnot, the more you'll tend to to find, right? There are blessings in disguise. And I feel like when we allow ourselves to surrender to this electricity, to this electrical current, what we then do is we say, okay, this may have shocked me, but I do feel that I am organic enough, authentic enough, transparent enough, creative enough to allow these things to happen. And I do feel that I'm going to then allow myself to align with my true soul tribe. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, y'all know that I've been saying this time and time again, that community is all that we have and what we're building towards. And I feel like that's exactly what this full moon is calling for us. I feel like we are going to, and it may come as a shock to some people, they may not feel as, I don't want to say as excited, but they may feel shocked by it, or they may feel pulled back, or they may feel kind of like appalled, for lack of better terms, or behooved, if you will. I feel like at that time, what's going to be revealed is who your true friends are. For some of you, and this, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but recently I've been like the talk of the town, y'all. Like, it's been crazy. Just real quick. So what I noticed in my own life that someone else perhaps may be going through is that people may be talking about you. People may be saying, you know, mean things, or they may be spreading their prejudices, or they may be, you know, trying to figure out who you are. And as a result of that, they're just saying things because they want to put two and two together to try to make up a story about you because it makes sense to them and it may not be true. I do feel like if that's something that you're going through, say to the divine, say to the universe, I welcome all protection, and I also allow myself to be known in this world as it will serve my highest and my greatest good, no matter what it is. And I do feel like if you're dealing with a situation like that, just a quick side note, sometimes I kind of ramble a little bit, but anyway, so as a quick side note, yes, that may be something that you may be going through, but I also feel like that's something, I'm hearing like the word pressure. It's the pressure from outside voices. That's the reason why that got brought up. Thank you, Spirit. So it's the pressure from these outside voices. It's the pressure of these ideologies, this idealism that people romanticize about you, or these ideas that people have of you. And I do feel also what's going to be revealed are people who like the idea of you, but don't really like you. And I feel like these are all things. I'm hearing that for some of you, you may want to cut the tie on that. But the reason is because it's not even just about the fact that it's not serving you. It's about the fact that it's not serving the collective. And the reason why is because people, these breaking away, these breakups and things like that, they're all necessary. There's so much beauty in knowing that we don't own people, right? Like, we don't own people. We don't own relationships. We don't have these things. We experience these things. And I do feel like I'm hearing the word let go right now. I feel like Spirit is reminding us that there are some things that we have to remember to let go of, because truly we are all having an experience. But with that experience comes the lessons. Some of them are not always pleasant, but there is such an orgasmic, ethereal, eruptious, loving, just, I feel like I said orgasmic already, but like this ecstatic or this ecstasy that we experience when we allow ourselves to fully surrender and tune into and be immersed and embody our divine feminine energy. And I do feel that because Pisces is feminine, because Virgo is feminine, it wants to, what we are being called to do is to allow our divine feminine to shine through, allow our divine feminine to lead the way as we immerse ourselves into collective waters. That is what I feel so far. I've got more. So basically, I did take a few notes, and here are some things that I did here that I actually typed to myself, actually. Collective consciousness, collective healing, collective imagery, collective transformation, collective discovery, and cosmic waters. What I do feel that we are also being called to do is to really dive deep and rediscover and commit to our gifts, our talents, and really express those, because those are the things that we're going to be returning back to. It's one of those things where we have to allow ourselves to let go of all control and fully, completely surrender and allow ourselves to be known as our gifts and our talents. The old world order is over. Now we are in a space where we are returning back to collective energy. We are turning back to our tribal you know, the tribal memories and things like that. We're returning back to our tribal ways, but the reason why is because these were things that were suppressed for so long. And Pisces says, I want to embrace all of it. I want to embrace this because I feel that I'm so connected to everything and to everyone, and I'm sensitive, and I want there to be magic. There is magic in everything, and there's also magic in community. So I do feel like at the time of the full moon, I do feel that there may be a call for some people to really reach out to people, or even share their messages, share their things with the world. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to start a podcast. Maybe you want to get out there and network with people. Maybe you want to, you know, sign up for that dating app. Maybe you want to, you know, pitch to that sales company, or maybe you want to pitch to somebody who's been there, done that. Maybe you want to get a mentor. These meaningful and deeply impactful relationships are going to not only set the tone, but they're also going to be gateways and entryways and portals into these otherworldly experiences that you are wanting to have. And I do feel that that is also the blessing that Jupiter is wanting to give to us now. It's like he's saying to us that he wants us to expand our heart space, expand our emotional intelligence, expand our awareness, because when we do that, we're allowing ourselves to not only become heightened, not only to evolve and enjoy, but also promote healing, harmony, balance, and love in the world. And that's exactly what I do feel like this is all about. The more that I'm hearing like the word trickle down, the more that we allow ourselves to connect, the more that the divine can trickle down these different blessings to us. That was my my second oldest at the door. Excuse him for that. He needed some help with something. But anyway, so yes, let me go ahead and look at the chart, y'all, because I done went in. We are 18 minutes, I think, into the video. Not that it really matters, but anyway. So Jupiter squaring off with Mars. What I want to say to that is that if you find yourself in a situation where you want to be kind of like reactive, and you really want to, or you feel like you're not sure exactly how to get along with others because people piss you off or people trigger you with things like that, I really want you to remember that there is a guru inside of you that is leading the way. I also want you to understand too that the reason why you may find yourself in these situations, or especially at the time of the full moon, somebody may say some things to you that you may not like, or someone may say something to you that you find to be offensive, or someone may in a way kind of show their true colors, and you may feel the need to constantly react and combat and whatever it may be. I want you to understand that these situations are happening because they're showing you yourself what your triggers are, but not even just that, it's also showing you what you have the capacity to overcome if you allow yourself to fall into this more initiative aspect when it comes to healing and really putting forth your effort and your gifts as it pertains to helping the collective heal. Because not everything is just about you, respectfully. Not everything is just about me. Not everything is just about, you know, the polar bear on ice. Like, not everything is about that. But what I want to say is that it's about everyone. And I do feel that we have this drive, or we may feel the need to stand up, to exercise our magic, to stand up for what we believe is right, especially in terms of collective energy. I do feel like at this time of the full moon, you may be called to a lot more humanitarian pursuits. You may feel like you have a gift that is greater than you, and that you yourself as an artist are a channel. And I do want you to awaken your inner artist, whether it be pottery, whether it be poetry, whether it be writing, whether it be, you know, creating books. Like, these are all things like that, you know, that I'm obviously interested in. But someone else may be an ice skater, or someone else may be a sculptor, or you may be an architect. Like, whatever your form of art is, right? Spirit is really wanting you to lean into that, because when you share that, you awaken something with someone else, and you allow them to walk the path of remembrance, right? And I feel like really what this all is the universe reminding us that we've been here before, that we've done it before, and this time we have a chance to get it right. And I feel like when you allow yourself to tune into your greatest hopes and wishes, when you allow yourself to really be honest about the things that you want for yourself, that, you know, to be honest about the things that you see for yourself, when you allow yourself to be truthful and transparent about that, you'll be surprised as to what you can manifest. And it's not really even just about manifesting. And I'm going to be real with you. I know that the spiritual community likes to say manifest this and manifest that, and don't do it here and don't do it there. And I know that it gets like that, but I want to let you know that yes, it's about manifesting, but it's also about becoming the best version of yourself capable of being embodied in flesh. There is going to be a grand trine in the chart as well. So in the chart, I believe that the midheaven is going to be trining with Pluto. Pluto's going to be trining with Uranus, and then Uranus is going to be trining with the midheaven. I wanted to point something out to you guys real quick. So by traditional definition, a grand trine is an equilateral triangle made of 3 planets, each 120 degrees apart from each other. So think of it like a closed circuit of energy that flows easily between these 3 planetary bodies. I also want to point out that the midheaven or ascendant aren't technically considered planets, so they don't generate energy on their own as, let's just say, Jupiter or Saturn would, or Venus would, because these are actual energetic bodies, not points in the sky. Right? So think of it as they reflect or they receive energy depending on where the planets are in the sky and how everything's working with each other. So in classic astrology, you won't see them counted as a part of a grand trine, technically. Now, I want you guys to remember that I am someone that does like to bend the rules just a little bit, as long as it is favorable for humanity, favorable for ourselves, and favorable for each other, or whatever it may be, right? So there is, again, a more flexible modern day view. I myself do consider the midheaven or ascendant in a grand trine if they complete the trine visually. So in that interpretation, the trine to the midheaven suggests that these talents and gifts that we're all tapping into within this trine can flow directly into our reputation, our career, and our public life as we progress and move further into our calling. And I feel like this benefits the collective because we're all not only honoring community, but the way that we are choosing to do so to honor the divine is by showcasing our unique identities. And that's what this is all about. And so there's, again, going to be a grand trine. So a grand trine normally means alignment. It does mean that things are more harmonious, and it also does mean that things are working seamlessly together. It's basically the perfect shoe, it's the perfect top, it's the perfect wig, it's the perfect set of nails. It's like the perfect everything, like the perfect, toppings on your pizza. And if you like pineapples on your pizza, anyway, so basically, yes, I do feel like because there's going to be this trine, right? Let me get serious. Because there's going to be a trine, this presents opportunities and it also presents strength. The fact that it's happening in air, this basically means that your ideas may be a lot more active. It may mean that for some of you, it means that you're able to come up with things a lot better. Scripting would be very good for you, especially because your emotional body, your spiritual body is directly in tune with your mental body and your spiritual bodies, right? So everything within you is perfectly aligned at that moment in time. And so what you do is you can script, meaning that you can use your imagination and your intuition to write down your life the way that you do see it without holding any attachment to it, being detached from it, but also just allowing yourself to be fully immersed in the moment when you are writing down these things in full detail. Right? If you want me to do a video on scripting, let me know down in the comment section. I will make sure to prepare that video for you. Also, I do feel like this is where your life drastically changes, and you are going to be seeing the effects of it for the upcoming, I want to say like 6 months, but I don't believe in timing all the time. I do feel and know for a fact that when you set your intention with something that it is in a perfect alignment with you, let me say that again because I was kind of flipping and fumbling over my words. When you set your intention, when you set your intention for something that you are in alignment with, then it does not matter what time of day it is. It does not matter who's squaring off with who. What it does matter is that the divine hears you. And even if it doesn't manifest at that moment, even if it doesn't manifest in 3 days, remember that there is an Akashic records, as we like to call it, which I believe it to be a mental field, the mental space, right? That the divine is keeping record, symbolically speaking, of your thoughts, of these writings, and everything that you write down is sacred. Everything that you put into your journal is sacred. And so the divine sees this because it's seeing it through you. And so it remembers it. It stores it in these Akashic records. It stores it in this mental plane. It stores it in the ethers. It stores it in the mental. So when you write these things down and you save them or you script them, then at the perfectly divine moment, those things will manifest. And how you know that they're going to manifest, you'll start meeting people who feel very, very, very familiar to you. You may see certain things. For some of you, it manifests is you seeing repeated numbers, which means that you're noticing patterns and things like that. If you want me to go into a video about repeated numbers and things like that, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, so yes, I feel like these are all different things that the divine wanted me to speak to you about. And I also wanted to leave you with this as well, because I'm going to be writing some poetry. If you guys are interested in reading any of my poetry, I'll make sure to link things that you need for that down below. And also I'm going to probably be writing some poems or whatnot that I may or may not be performing. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'm going to allow myself to be open as a channel to receive whatever messages that I do need. Also, that reminds me, I know that this video is going into 30 minutes, but I wanted to let you guys know that at this time, you want to make sure that you yourself also open yourself up as a channel to give the gift of knowledge, wisdom, and whatever else it may be for your collective, for your soul tribe, for the people that you are advocating for and things like that. And yes, I also want to let you know too that I'm actually going to be creating an oil for this as well. So if you guys need any of those, I'm going to actually link them down in the comment section or in the description box, because I feel like this time is so perfect for you to work with very specific herbs and flowers. If I were you, setting my intention, depending on what you wanted to do, if you want to make like a generic oil, which I don't feel like it would be generic, I would 100% be working with lavender, rose, jasmine, mugwort, frankincense. These are all different things that I would work with at the time, because lavender does help you to clear your mind. It helps you to connect with your mental, and it also does bring ease as far as the mental plane goes. It helps you tap into your mind. When you're dealing with rose, it does deal with your intuition. It deals with divination. It's also divinely feminine, and it allows you to tap into your divine feminine essence of receptivity. The reason why I do say mugwort is because it does help you to work with your intuition. And the reason why I say jasmine is because jasmine, dry jasmine flowers, do help you to connect with that spiritual love, that spiritual abundance. And so when you pair these all together, what happens is all of these different types of herbs and also, wait, I'm sorry, frankincense, when you burn it, it does connect you to God. It does help you to amplify your space if you want to use that. But not only that, the reason why I like to put it in the oil is because it does amplify the magic and the intention in the oil. That's the way that I like to do it. You don't have to. You can fight me on it. It's cool. But the reason why I would recommend all of these together in an oil is because it does really create this space of clarity. It opens you up to love. It allows you to align spiritually, and it also helps you to tap into your intuition and discernment to know what really is for you. And also, I do feel like that is really just like one of the most perfect blends for Pisces, or for Pisces new moon. I do feel, however, that depending on what your intentions are, the recipes may change. This is just a generic one that I'm giving you because I want you guys to know that yes, this is the way that I do work my magic. I like to use herbs. I like to use oils. I like to use candles and all of those things. Speaking of candles, I feel like you can work with the color purple. You can work with white. You can also work with the color blue during this time, or you may be called to work directly with the void, in which you want to work with the color black. Crystals that I would use, I would 100% be using obsidian right now, or at that time, because Pisces does connect to the void. And so what perfect stone to work with other than obsidian when you're dealing with that, because you may be called to scry during that time. You may want to do water scrying, or you may want to scry into a crystal ball, which I have up there. I'm not going to bring it out right now, but or you may want to scry into obsidian. And so what you do with that is you may want to set your intention to receive the information that you need for your highest and your greatest good. If you yourself feel like you don't know exactly what is for you right now, you may want to receive that. You may want to receive visions, and you may want to do so through scrying. So those are some things you can work with. You can also, I just heard for some of you, you may want to be a little bit unorthodox, and you may want to work with turquoise. I do feel like for those of you, labradorite. If you are an artist, a writer, a poet, whatever it may be, I want you to work with labradorite. I'm going to be working with labradorite as a writer, as a poet myself, but that stone is so amazing. It really is the artist stone. When I tell you guys that I do such good work with labradorite on my desk, it's just the best. Speaking of which, this is completely random, but I really want to get labradorite countertops and like labradorite desks. Like, Labradorite is like my favorite stone ever. It's just the best ever. Anyway, so basically, yes, you can work with those if you want to. Whatever jade, I just heard the word jade. Some of you guys may want to work with jade. Jade is a very, very amazing protective stone. It's actually used widely in Mesoamerica, and I know that for those who practice rites and whatnot, especially in those types of practices and whatnot, I know jade is widely used. I know that I've been drawn to jade when working with my ancestry. For others of you, you may want to commune or work directly with ancestors, in which you may want to use copal. I like to use copal when I work with my ancestors. That is what they want. That is what they accept. And I just kind of stick to that. But anyway, I just heard the word moonstone, and it's interesting because I don't want to say that's cliche, but I actually do have a moonstone ring right now. And so I don't know if I heard that because I seen it, but moonstone may be something that you may be called to work with. But yes, I do feel like these are just simply all the messages that are coming through for the moment. I will 100% give you guys additional messages if I need to, or for whatever else comes in. I actually pulled some cards, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to be uploading this video before the other one yet. We'll see. I'm not really sure about that, but we're gonna find out. Yes, so I really do hope that this video did help you with something. I hope that it gave you some kind of insight. I know that I was rambling and I was talking a mile a minute. It's because I was so excited, and with my Sag moon, I can't help it at times. I get really excited and I just light up right when I'm talking about things that I love to talk about. And it was so interesting because, real quick before I let you go, thank you for staying. Yeah, at first I was gonna approach this in a certain way. At first I was gonna just go, line by line, teacher mode, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I feel like it's just played out. Anyway, so basically, yes, the Ethereum is absolutely open. I am working my magic at that time. If you need anything from me, you can visit me online over at thesaiyonanpath.org. If you wish to, you guys can also follow along with me on Instagram over at thesaiyonanpath and over at Magic of Eden. I am also on Substack, so if you guys wish to read any of my poetry or writings, I will make sure to have that link down below. Make sure that you reserve your essentials via the website. I will make sure to have that link down in the description box. I do have items and essentials, or Saiyonan essentials, that are available for reserve with a fixed donation, so make sure that you guys check that out, because yes, your girl has an Ethereum, which is also an apothecary for those of you guys that don't know. And I do love to handcraft things, as well as merge the arts of poetry and magic. On the labels of the candles, you'll more than likely see merging the arts of poetry and magic. That's because what we do here is we do not allow ourselves to shrink. We are multidimensional beings, and we allow ourselves to show all of our dimensions. So that is it. That is all. If there's nothing else that I can help you with, I love you all, and I'll catch you in my next video.